Okay, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show off the changes I made since last week. If I run this game, you see we have this nice portal here, and if you go into it, you can see the player goes in, we change levels. It looks exactly the same, but if we go in this portal, we only have 2 levels, and you can see this print message, last level reached, going back to first level. Right now I just have level 1 and level 2 looking the exact same. But this is all I was able to get done over the weekend. I was kind of a little bit busy. And with that out of the way, we're going to go into this player. And I'm going to show the changes I made to it. I wanted to try something a little bit different. I went in and put all most of the changes in code already. So the first thing is from last video, make sure to have this if an action input is action just pressed. And the next thing we have is we got rid of the air control inside of jump. That's going to be handled later down when matching the state. We added the fall time and change state to player jump here instead. Same with the double jump here. And once we get to player state, you notice that in else we've just changed it to be horizontal and jump instead. And now once we reach player state jump, you see that there's if air control horizontal, which is telling us that if we have air control set to true, then we can move while we're jumping. And here we have an if statement checking if our player is fallen. If that's fallen, then we're going to go in here. We're still going to have check if air control to make sure while falling we can also move. So if you want, you can go in and make it so while falling the player doesn't move. This gives you greater control over how your player works. Because I know some games, once you jump or fall, you can't control the player anymore. So this gives you more control over the player. Over here in the fall section, we also have check-in for if the player has reached the floor. Then we're going to say it's landed, and we're also going to play the animation idle. This you guys can replace with your own like land animation, but this is so if you guys played around with the previous code and ran it and tested it, you would notice that sometimes the animation wouldn't properly change to the correct animation. So I decided to go in and add it in here for the land to go to default to idle. And here we check for the fall time to determine whether or not we can jump while falling. You guys can go in and change this if you want, so there's no like max fall time for double jumps, or like add in an extra conditional statement. I would personally probably keep it this way because like we have it set to like half a second. That should be plenty. I really doubt any player is gonna fall further than half a second and then like think, oh, I'm gonna take my jump now. And here the last thing is we changed player state land. So now that air jumps is reset back when the player initially lands, and fall time is reset. So our fall time never is set to max, and then you can't jump anymore once fallen. And that's it for the player. Now, one thing you have to do also, since we've added some new assets, the portal, and made the sprite sheet 4 now, what we need to go in and do is go to the wall light, wall light coin, and player, and change the H frames to 4. If you have it set to 3, you're going to have it looking like this. So make sure you change all those to 4. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and go to the scenes here. We're going to get rid of this base level here. And what we're going to do now is attach a script here. And need to open something up. So what I'm going to do here is go in const level path scenes 2/level %d.scene. We're going to add this export variable called fade time. This is going to be so we can set up the time that's going to take for the fade, as you saw in the beginning of the video. And we're going to also add in a level number, assign it to int, and we're going to set it so the first level is 1. You guys can go in if you want and set it to 0 if you want to add in a main menu. That's what I would recommend, is have the first level just be like the level 1 you see there, but then go in and change it so in the main menu is level 0 or something like that. Now I'm gonna go in here. This is gonna be for later down the line, but I wanna be able to access the base level script. This you guys don't need to really worry about. Did I mess up something? Bar level. Oh, forget that. Set it to equal. Now I'm going to go in here and add some new functions called, or statements we're going to add to group game. This will be used later down the line for calling functions into the game function, such as entering a portal and stuff like that. And now we're going to also add a call deferred, and we'll call init. We're going to now go in and make this init function, and we're going to pass load underscore level, and that's going to pass the parameter level num. Now that's out of the way. We need to go in and create this level num int, and let's add a pass here just to make sure it doesn't give us any errors. And we're going to go in and old level equals get level node, and we're going to go in and create that function level node. And what we're going to do is check if self.has node level. Then we're going to return self.get node level. Else it's just going to return null if that fails. And we're going to add another function called on next level, which is going to increment our level number by 1, and I'm going to load the level. Now that's out of the way, let's go in here and finish off writing up our load level function. Old level is not equal to null. Then what we're going to do is self.remove child old level, right? And then we're going to do old level.q3. So this will go in and remove the child, and we're going to also remove the resource of old level so it doesn't exist anymore. Now next what we're going to want to do is go in and load our new level path %num, which will load our current level we're going to want to load in. And we'll now check not equal to null. Then we're going to say var level equals level scene dot instance, and we're going to add it to our root node, and we're going to return it as a true. else we're just gonna print level does not exist and return false. That should be it for that. Now, the last thing we need to go in and do is take our base level. No, not that. We're going to do a new inherited scene based off the base level. And what we're going to do here is we're going to rename this to level. And we're going to save this as level 1. That should be it. And if we go now to here and run this, as you can see, we've loaded the level. Let me show you actually. I'm going to move this. If you look here, you see the gaming camera, right? If you go and click on remote, you see that the level here is loaded here. So that's it for this week's episode. I'm planning to start uploading only once a week. I got some other projects I want to work on, so I decided to kick it back to 1 episode per week now. Let me guys know in the comments if there's anything you want me to specifically cover involving platformers or just the Godot game engine itself. And with that out of the way, I'll see you guys next week.